Hi guys, my name is Jamie Wallace-Taylor and welcome to Brief Histories. On this channel I make videos on fascinating people on history from all walks of life. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have anybody you'd like me to make a video on and I will get right on that. However, today we are going back to 16th century England, the Tudor period, to meet one of my favourite people in history, Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn was the daughter of Thomas Boleyn and Elizabeth Howard. She grew up in the company of her two siblings, Mary and George, at Hever Castle in Kent. In 1514, Henry VIII married his younger sister Mary to the aged King of France, and accompanied the Tudor princess to France as a very young lady-in-waiting. However, Mary's husband died shortly after they wed, and she returned to England. Anne stayed in France and was educated under the watchful eye of Queen Claude. She returned to England in 1522 to marry her cousin James Butler, but the plans fell through, and was appointed lady-in-waiting to Henry VIII's wife, Catherine of Aragon. Anne secretly became betrothed to Henry Percy in 1523, but Cardinal Wolsey separated them, and Anne was sent home, away from court for some time after the scandal. Sometime late after her arrival in court, Henry VIII became enamoured with Anne. She resisted the king's attempts to seduce her, and refused to be his mistress. He'd already had a damaging affair with her sister Mary, and she'd learnt from her example. Henry's love letters to Anne suggest that their love affair remained celibate. Until the last months of their 7-year courtship. Within a year, Henry proposed marriage, despite already being wed, and Anne accepted, and it became Henry's goal to divorce his wife Catherine so that he could marry Anne. At this time, the sweating sickness hit London, and Anne was sent away for safety. Anne contracted the illness, but luckily recovered quickly and returned to court. Upon her return, Henry banished his wife from court and gave Anne her rooms. A messenger was then sent to the Pope to appeal for the annulment of his marriage. When the Pope refused to annul his marriage, Henry broke from the Catholic Church and passed the Act of Supremacy, declaring himself head of the English Church. He was then free to divorce Catherine and made their only child Mary a bastard. Henry and Anne married on January 25, 1533, after a secret marriage in November. Anne was crowned Queen of England on June 1, 1533, and on September 7th, Anne gave birth not to a long-awaited heir, but another daughter, the future Queen of England, Elizabeth I. Henry was disappointed, but claimed to love Elizabeth, and hoped a son would follow. However, 2 miscarriages later, and Henry's attention had moved on to Anne's lady-in-waiting, Jane Seymour. Henry was still desperate for a male heir, and he blamed Anne for this misfortune. In 1536, Catherine of Aragon died, and Anne miscarried a 3rd child and 2nd son. Now desperate for his marriage with Anne to end so that he could marry Jane, he had Anne investigated for high treason in April 1536. And on the 2nd of May 1536, Anne was arrested on charges of adultery and incest. Convicted of adultery and witchcraft, Anne was imprisoned in the Tower of London and sentenced to death, the first English queen ever to be publicly executed. May 19th, Anne was led from her quarters to Tower Green, where she was beheaded. Her daughter Elizabeth, just 3 at the time, became a bastard like her sister Mary. And Jane Seymour went on to give Henry his only son and heir, Edward, who sadly died young, soon after he was crowned in 1547 upon Henry's death. And his sisters both succeeded him as Queens of England, as Mary I and Elizabeth I. Most of our information on Anne Boleyn was lost after her execution, as Henry had Anne's portraits and emblems destroyed and replaced with Jane Seymour's. Henry never spoke her name again, but failed in his mission to erase her memory. Following the coronation of her daughter as queen, Anne was venerated as a martyr, and is now known as the most influential and important queen consort in English history. Learn about more historical figures and follow Brief Histories on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. And find out more at www.briefhistories.co.uk. Check out the other videos on this channel and see what you find.
Hey there historians, if you like that video feel free to check out some of the other ones on this channel. Don't forget to head over to the website www.briefhistories.co.uk to check out all the timelines, family history and more. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, I hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more and I will see you guys next time.